10 passive income ideas for graphic designers and artists. That's exactly what we're going to be covering today in this video. Hi, my name is Maria Toka. I'm a freelance graphic designer. And just a quick disclaimer, when I say passive income, please don't take this literally. Of course, it's going to be active, at least in the early stages of building that income stream. It may become somewhat passive once it's established, but still you would need to manage it every now and then. So by the word passive, I only mean not working with clients directly, but rather creating something and then selling multiple times. Just different type of making money rather than traditional freelancing. Because most of us designers and freelance artists, illustrators only rely on clients as if it's our primarily source of income. If we don't have clients, we don't have work. But I might surprise you, but there are designers and artists who don't work with clients at all, and they have more than enough money to sustain themselves because there are other ways to monetize your skills. And I'm going to be sharing with you 10 of them. Some of them require social media audience, some of them don't, or require maybe a small audience. So I hope everyone will find something useful from this video. So without further ado, let's jump right in. And the first income stream idea is selling prints or merch with your design. It's probably one of the most popular options, and I know it sounds super competitive. Everyone is doing it right now, but you have a big advantage if you are an artist or a designer, because the design is the only variable for success here, because everything else, such as shipping, quality of the product, is already made super easy with print-on-demand platforms that everyone uses today, such as Printful, Printify, Gelato. There are a lot of them, so you don't need to worry about it. The only reason why somebody would pick you over somebody else is the quality of the design. And by merch, I don't only mean t-shirts. It can be something a bit more niche. It can be stickers, pins, tote bags, I don't know, socks, whatever resonates with your design style and maybe with your audience if you have an audience, but you don't really have to have it, especially if you're using platforms like Etsy, Redbubble, Society6, then your main stream of customers is going to be this platform. But if you decide to be more independent and to sell it through your own website, a Shopify store, for example, then audience would help massively. But again, you don't have to have it if you're ready to invest in ads or work with influencers. So there are some loopholes how to get traffic to your website, even without massive audience, but it's still a big plus if you have it. The second idea is selling design assets. Some graphics, textures, clip art, Photoshop or Procreate brushes, icons, and even fonts, like anything that other creatives, other designers or artists may use. The big plus is that you know your target audience really well because you're a creative yourself. So it would be easier for you to decide what kind of product could be really high in demand, but you also need to monitor trends. That's going to help massively. And you can use platforms like Creative Market, Gumroad. For Gumroad, you need to bring your own traffic though, you're aware of that. You can use Etsy again, and a lot of other platforms like Envato, Motion Array. There are separate platforms which specialize in fonts, like you work for them, for example. I will probably list all platforms that come to my mind straight away, and you can just check out each of them. Plus, don't forget about microstock websites like Adobe Stock, Shutterstock, iStock, Deposit Photos, Freepik. There are lots of them, and you can sell different kinds of clip art, not only photos, but also vector art, if that's your thing, or PNG, even video clips. So yeah, just check out those platforms. But you need to keep in mind that with those platforms, it takes time to build significant portfolio, and it's more like a numbers game. So the more you upload, the quicker you will get to the earnings you want. So you need to be patient here. But on the plus side, you don't need any audience on social media, because the main source of traffic are those those websites, those platforms, unless you decide to go independent and sell it through your Shopify store, which is an excellent way, but you need to think about traffic in that case. The third idea is creating your online courses. And don't be afraid of this big word online course. It doesn't mean that you have to create like 5-hour course where you will teach everything you know and you need to be a certified teacher, professor, or anything like that. I mean, you can start with platforms like Skillshare, where the smallest online course is like a video tutorial. Basically, I think the shortest length is 20 minutes, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure exactly, but I think it's 20 minutes, maybe 30, no longer than that. And then you can slowly expand the duration of it as you will start feeling more comfortable with this. Just treat it as just sharing your knowledge, sharing your information. Don't think of yourself like, I need to be like a professor or anything like that. Not really. ChatGPT can help you with the script. If you don't know how to speak properly, you can just read the script and make it look like you're saying it naturally. The magic of editing will do everything. And again, it takes time to build up the significant income from this. You need multiple courses. And also don't think that you need to know absolutely everything to start teaching. If you have any sort of creative skill, you probably have something to teach, something to share with people. So why not just try it as a side hustle? May work, may not work. On these websites like Skillshare, Domestika, and there are others. Udemy maybe have a design section, I'm not sure. If you have any sort of expertise with freelancing, any experience that you've had, some strategies that work in client acquisition, you can cover that part. You don't need to show anything specifically practical. So yeah, there are a lot of things that you can teach. But those websites with very small formats of online courses that I just mentioned, they take quite a lot of time to build significant income from them. Of course, it's more profitable to launch like a proper online course on your own platform that doesn't take a big commission. And I can recommend a platform which I personally used for my online courses. I launched my poster design course several times, and each time I launched it on Teachable, which is a really good platform. I can honestly recommend it. And luckily for me, they kindly agreed to sponsor this video. I can definitely say that I've had a really smooth and easy experience with them, because this platform helps you with everything. It's not only a place where you upload your online course, your videos. It also helps you with selling this course. You don't need your own website to create a sales page, a separate platform for building your email list, and you will need an email list to collect the emails of your students. There are multiple ways of how you can teach people on that platform. It's not only through an online course. It can be membership, it can be one-on-one coaching, it can be just selling a digital product. It will probably be educational product like a guide or a template. So again, if you're not ready for a proper online course, you can start with a small digital product just to test the water, like this topic is going to be relevant or not. But with Teachable, it's super easy to do. I would highly recommend. So if you want to get started, check out their free playbook. It has all the information you need, and the link will be down in the description. There you will have a lot more control over the pricing. People can pay you in installments. It can be one-time purchase. It can be membership, just multiple types of digital products that you can sell there. Yeah, if you're serious about that, it's a lot more professional way. Okay, moving on. UGC, which stands for user-generated content. It's another way of monetizing your creative skills. If you don't have an audience, or if it's really small, it doesn't really matter what your audience is. This is basically when brands are paying creators to make authentic photos and videos for their products. It's mostly videos, not that much of photos. It's more about quality of the content. If your niche has something to do with the video, this is perfect for you. If you can create cinematic videos, oh my god, this is such a huge opportunity. But even if it's not, even if you're a graphic designer or an illustrator, any sort of creative profession person, that's totally fine. You can definitely check out this stream of income. It might seem like that it's only for lifestyle and beauty bloggers who can show the products that they're using every day. Not only that, just look at it in more broad sense. It can be software that you're using, Adobe, Affinity Pro, Procreate, Canva, Figma, ReadyMag, framer, like anything that you may use in your design work or your art career. If we're talking about traditional art, it can be art supplies, sketchbooks, notebooks, journals, paints, brushes, pens, markers, specialty paper and printing services, like whatever you use in your day-to-day practice. Just write down the list of brands that you're using yourself and reach out to those brands. But before that, of course, you need to create a couple of sample videos, like what kind of videos you can create for them. Yeah, just research that type of income, UGC, and you will get a much better idea of what that is. I'm just giving you a direction that you can adjust it to your creative niche. It doesn't have to be only lifestyle or beauty product. It can be your creative lifestyle, your workspace. You can take a look at both physical products and digital online platforms. There are a lot of opportunities there. The next income idea is digital products. Specifically, I mean templates. They can be printable, like printable planners that are really popular on Etsy, or they can be digital. And of course, the most popular is Notion templates. But not only that, social media templates are also really high in demand, and website templates also really high in demand, and not everyone can make them. It requires skill. So spend a couple of days or a week. I don't think it takes like years to learn that. I'm guessing a week should be enough. Well, maybe 2 weeks, I don't know. I'm pretty sure not that long, especially if you're dedicated. And that's it. And you have a magic skill that most people don't have. And sell it on Etsy. Again, you need to be patient, upload consistently, wait for several months before you start getting traction. So don't think that you just created one template and it's gonna feed you forever. It doesn't work like that. But it's definitely doable, whether you want to sell it through platforms like Etsy, Creative Market, or anything like that, or through your own website. Shopify templates, Framer templates, they're really high in demand, so don't miss out on that. The next income idea is offline events, such as art markets, design fairs, and creative pop-ups. They can absolutely be a side hustle. Yeah, just do your research about your location, where would be the closest for you to participate in events like this. I also know that it's really good for networking, for building some useful connections with other creatives. Plus, if you're selling merch, prints, that can be a really good way to monetize that. The next income stream is the last one, where you don't necessarily need an audience, because the next ones I'm going to talk about, they require at least a little bit of an audience. And this one is art and design licensing. This is not really obvious way. Not many people look into that because it sounds a bit unclear what exactly it means. This is where you license your artwork or your patterns to companies who use them on products like wallpapers, fabrics, or stationery. You get paid royalties every time your designs are sold without having to handle production or shipping. Licensing can take time to break into, but once you get there, it's one of the most truly passive income streams for artists. I guess you can approach that through cold outreach, or if you have a little bit of an audience, you can post content related to that to attract those type of clients. And another way actually is really good way, if you have a Creative Market or an Etsy shop, along with your other products, let's say you sell digital patterns, on your page or like in your shop, you somehow need to let them know that this option is available. I saw some people create separate listings for that. Like if you want an extended license, this is the way how you can buy it. You can list it as a separate listing, like I said, or you can just mention it in your shop banner or in the shop description, something like that. So reach out to me directly through this email address if you want to consider different license types for your business. This is actually a good way, even if you don't have a social media audience. I know that's also a way to find freelance clients. That's how some people find designers. If they like your designs that you sell in your shop, but they want something custom, they may message you directly, like, can you design this for me? So Creative Market and Etsy, in that sense, can be another way of client acquisition. But this video is not about freelancing, not about client client acquisition. This is just an observation that I noticed, like a nice side effect. Okay. And these 3 income streams is for people who have at least a little bit of an audience. If you don't have a massive audience, even if it's small, but truly engaged and interested in you audience, they still can be good ways for additional income streams. And the next idea is Patreon or other similar membership platforms such as Ko-fi, Substack. And on social media, also, you may have paid subscribers option on YouTube or on Instagram. Like I already said, on Teachable, you can set up the membership, but it would be more for educational stuff. But Patreon can be for anything, just for people supporting you on monthly basis. You can offer exclusive tutorials, monthly downloads, or behind the scenes content in exchange for recurring income. And keep in mind that this also requires time and patience, because just mentioning it once wouldn't get you anywhere. You need to constantly be reminding your followers that you have a Patreon. I have a Patreon. You need to be very repetitive. And sometimes that might be annoying, but that's what it takes to actually build a following on those paid platforms. But it pays off at the end, so why not try it? The next one is affiliate marketing. Another underrated option. You can earn commissions by recommending tools that you already use, like Adobe, drawing tablets, or even books. You can share affiliate links on YouTube, Pinterest, or your blog. Again, you don't necessarily have to have an audience for that, especially if you do it through Pinterest, for example, maybe Pinterest audience, but it's a little bit different from regular social media. So I wouldn't really call it like audience, like your fans. It just depends on how often you post on Pinterest and how consistent you are, but you don't need to be like famous or anything. It's more or less doable. It just takes a bit of time. And even on YouTube, I know that if you don't have any audience, that you upload your first video, you will probably get like 10 views, but you can try several times, and if one of the videos will do better than the others, if they have a really strong, interesting topic, the big plus is that it's evergreen content and people might discover your video in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, and most likely, if it's a good video, the chances are that the views will build up, and if you have affiliate links in that video throughout this entire time, you may get some additional income. So that's another good option to look into. And the last one is brand deals. Yeah, this is probably for people who have a little bit of an audience, but again, don't be discouraged. You don't need like 100k followers, 1 million followers for this. Not necessarily. I know plenty of creators with a few thousand followers and they already get brand deals. If it's a specific niche audience, that's enough. Especially if you focus on like tech platforms. If you're okay with using AI, that's a huge opportunity. If you're ready to promote different platforms, just a few thousand followers would be enough for you to find some clients for brand deals. So why not? But it can also be a physical product, just whatever you use in your creative practice, you can advertise it. Of course, ideally, it's easier to approach those clients if you already have examples of what you can offer, what kind of videos you can create for them. So ideally, if your social media content is not only your work, but if you also show yourself, if you use your voice, if you can say something, you can recommend something, brands are paying attention to that you are capable of recommending their product. So yeah, this is another really good way to monetize your design skills from social media. And I didn't mention AdSense on YouTube or monetization on TikTok. I did that on purpose because I don't really consider those as any significant source of income because they don't really pay well. Yeah, like anything else that I just listed is way more profitable than AdSense. Nobody really relies on AdSense on YouTube. You would make way more money with brand deals or selling your own products affiliate marketing, like anything. Yeah, I would say AdSense is just like a nice bonus, your pocket money, even for a side hustle. I wouldn't rely on that. And I guess the same goes for TikTok, unless you have millions of views for each video. Maybe only in that case it could be lucrative for you, but I don't know. I just think it's a lot more effort that I would rather spend this time focusing on something else. But that's just me. All right, and that was it. So those were 10 passive income ideas for graphic designers and artists. Again, maybe not that passive, but I mean side hustle, something apart from directly working with clients. You definitely don't need to do all of them because you simply won't have enough time. I mean, you can try, but your mind will go crazy. Burnout guaranteed. Just start with one that feels most natural to you and then build from there. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more design content. Let me know in the comments which income stream you're most interested in trying. Maybe I will make a more detailed video about anything specific. Thank you so much for watching and see you guys next time. Bye!